What up? You're alone in your living room. The lights are off. The muted blue glare of the TV reminds you of just how helpless you really are. Thunder shrieks. The wind howls. The attic creaks. A knock at the door surprises you. Blossom? Hi! You stand up as the door crashes open, and the Murder Schmurder crew enters your home.
Oh, yeah.
They tell jokes, yell pop culture references, and start mansplaining some of the most true, vile crimes you've ever heard of. Somebody call the Powerpuff Girls.
Hi.
You listen to them, unsure at first, but relaxing into it. Pretty soon, you're laughing, horrified, strangely turned on. Is this a kid's show?
Yes, ma'am? What? Gross!
At some point, they realize they've forgotten to introduce themselves. Make room in your heart for Grant, Jamie, Austin, Carlton, Joseph, and the friends, lovers, and/or acquaintances they pressure into hanging out. Like the creepy professor that makes children in his basement.
Sugar, spice, and everything nice. I really hope that nobody's looking through the window.
Why don't we hang out with? What? Why don't we do an impression of me? Make room for Murder Schmurder.
I really hope that nobody's looking through the window.
Figure as a
Mr. Nataz. Okay.
Yeah. It's Satan backwards. I was picturing like sort of like a whimsically evil devil.
Whimsically evil.
Yeah, that's fun too. Yeah. Cartoonish.
I like that guy.
Happy devil. All right,
Sorry, I gotta get some inspiration here.
we're gonna
Just
soon,
pay for
like,
YouTube Premium.
Seriously, man, what are you poor?
Yeah, I
I bet you listen to the ads on Spotify too. But,
Dude, it pays for itself.
yeah, seriously. All right. Interior, Black Cat Boutique, Twilight. We open on a seedy, darkened alleyway in Trashville, where the Black Cat Boutique hungrily waits. Mr. Nataz is standing behind the counter, polishing an old vase. His skin is a bright, fiery red, and his jaunty top hat does a piss-poor job of hiding literal horns. Smoke billows from behind his sunglasses as he whistles and cleans. The bell over the door clangs as the Murder Schmurder crew pours into the shop.
Good evening, boys, and how are my favorite customers doing tonight?
Austin, Carlton, Grant, Jamie, and Joseph all surge towards the counter, holding up their various purchases and pointing and yelling.
Not well, Dick.
Ever since we came here, our lives have been going off the rails.
Where the fuck do you get off selling us cursed objects?
Settle down, boys. What's the problem? You all seemed happy when you left my store, not even a fortnight ago.
You said this notebook would help me record all my best bits automatically?
Doesn't it?
Yeah. In ancient Sumerian, last time I did a set, the crowd started vomiting, pea soup, and levitating.
Yes, I imagine it was a hell of a show.
Mr. Nataz laughs evilly while the Murder Schmurder crew... Never mind Carlton's fake problems. I've got a real issue with this vape.
Oh? And you have to refill or charge it?
No, but I keep losing it. Whenever I set it down, it disappears. Plus, I've been coughing up blood.
It's in your pocket.
Joseph pulls the vape out of his pocket, whoops, then hits it like a freight train and coughs viciously. Mr. Nataz shrugs.
For the record, the coughing up blood isn't on me. You've been smoking since you were 16.
Hey, what about me?
What appears to be the problem?
Well, you may or may not have noticed, my arms fell off.
Grant stands with his empty shirt sleeves and a snare drum tied to his back.
I get it. A drum set that sounds awesome but makes your arms fall off. Fucking hilarious. Now give me back my arms, you fucking hack.
What do I look like, a surgeon?
Grant kicks Mr. Nataz in the dick and he falls to the ground. Gasping for breath, he looks up to see Austin and Jamie standing over him.
Let me guess. You've left a bad Yelp review.
This red flag detector won't shut up. It doesn't matter who I talk to or where I meet them. This thing goes off like a metal detector in Texas.
No, again, not really on me. And let me guess, Austin, you discovered the condom I gave you.
I wear condoms sometimes, all right?
really on me. And let me guess, Austin, you discovered the condom I gave you that feels like nothing works perfectly, except it makes your most precious appendage smaller. No, I never used it. Nah, I'm just along for the ride.
Kick his ass, boys! Cut his dick off! Yeah!
Let the record
no.
show. Let the record show. Unscathed over here. Clean as a whistle.
So Austin went immediately from, oh, I use condoms to I don't have to
Sometimes
use condoms.
I've used them before.
Wow. I know what they are.
Right. I know how they work.
I've
I know
seen
how
them in
you
a
put them on.
drugstore.
I even have a box next to my in my nightstand. Have I used them?
You know,
No.
Those things expired
But
in
they're there.
2018.
No.
you know when you're like putting in a password and it's like prove that you're not a bot, and then it like shows you pictures like is this a bridge, and then you got to pick the one's the bridge. If you do that with condoms with Austin, he'll never figure it out.
I think it's this one. He's just holding a trash bag. She throws up into this right afterwards, and she's not pregnant.
I was gonna say I appreciate the compliment.
All right. Well, welcome to Murder Schmurder. I'm going to be your host for this week, Joseph, and I'm joined here by my great friends, Grant.
Yep, that's my name.
I got Jamie.
Uh-huh.
I got Austin,
How's it going?
and I got my newest friend, Drew.
Hello.
Hey, I didn't mean to go.
Sultry voice.
I didn't mean to go full on Mr. Rogers on you,
Sorry. It's all good.
but I'm here for it. So we're going to be doing a episode about cursed objects.
Ooh.
Don't get too hyped. Most of it's bullshit, I think, but
Well,
It
I'll
is
be the
fun.
judge of that.
there's some creepy stuff, and I don't want to, I mean, you guys know about cursed objects. There's like, King Tut's curse. There's like, they're like loaded with video games and
My
like
wiener.
sci-fi. Your dick is obviously cursed. Every woman you've ever slept with has died.
Oh, every single one of them. It's crazy.
Like you think at some point one of them would make it.
I mean, I keep trying.
Joseph, have you seen Unsolved Mysteries?
Have I seen it with Robert Stack, the originals?
Yeah, the
Oh,
originals.
hell yeah. I
So
have.
I watched that as a kid for some reason. My parents loved
Well, because it was
putting on-
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, like, yes, it was awesome.
And it was daytime
also
TV.
very scary. As a child, very scary.
Yeah, that's true.
But there was one cursed object, and I'm hoping we're going to cover it. I doubt you will, but it's been like just inscribed into my brain. Like it's like hieroglyphics on a pyramid. It's always been there. But there was one cursed object, and it was any woman who touched this statue would get pregnant.
Oh,
that sounds like a nightmare.
and also
Smash the statue at the end of the
I-
episode.
It was like you remember like
fucking hope so.
each episode had like a 5-minute segment of like here's this going on and here's the unsolved mystery. It just seemed like even as a child I was like, that's the best you got? Is it for this episode? It's
Yeah.
just you touch it and you get preggers? I mean, all right.
Is it like a statue of like Anthony Scalia or something?
If I remember correctly,
what
it's like,
happens if I touch it?
you get pregnant.
You get butt pregnant.
Butt babies.
All right. So I was gonna say, does it come out the butt or does it come out the pee hole?
You really missed our whole MPreg thing, or you would already know.
I mean, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, be really thankful you missed that. That was
Well, I
brutal-
mean, like,
that was a brutal.
Because if it
episode.
comes out of the pee hole,
A very long, brutal episode.
that was
Yeah.
so long. Yeah,
if
she
it
really
comes
did
out
her
of the
research.
pee hole, I imagine it's just like either really, really like skinny and long, or like really small.
I think if I remember right, your organs more or less rearrange themselves, and your slick river juices on your bussy like help aid the baby to
I
come
see.
out.
I see.
You're just
You know what?
It is in
Yes.
my brain.
it's
okay.
there.
You know
and
what?
you just drudged it back up for
I'm
me
so-
too.
I-
Thanks
You know
so
what?
much,
Now
Joseph.
that you know what? Now that you say that, was I there for this? Because now I'm starting to regain some memory. Maybe I tried to block that out at
Dude,
some point.
Yeah, I feel like I've actively blocked
You said
it out.
bussy, and then it was just like,
Like you just Jason Bourne. Like,
Yeah,
I
like-
can speak Chinese now.
yes, that.
Okay, sorry. Keep
So anyway,
going.
besides the cursed fan fiction that we had to listen to, there are many cursed objects. And no, I'm sorry, the pregnancy statue is not one of them. But I'd like to get into, some classic stuff, the classic kind of like, haunted stuff. And to me, the most classic like haunted thing is a doll.
Yes, absolutely.
right? Like these fuckers are everywhere. You got like Goosebumps. You got
Annabelle.
the Annabelle.
Yeah.
Thank you. Exactly. You
The
got
room in my grandmother's house that I never ever went into
Well-
because it was filled with China dolls.
See, I've got some stuff I researched, but I've also got a doll story that I lived through, and I'd like to share it with you guys.
Okay.
Yeah, me neither. You're gonna find out why I was having not a great time. So we're in New Orleans, right? Me and my wife Sarah. We're having a great time. I'm very drunk, and also smoking weed, obviously. Yeah. So we're having fun. We're all getting lit up and everything, going around, having a great time. And Sarah had booked us a ghost tour, right? Starts around 10 o'clock. That's when the ghosties come out. That makes sense, right? So we go to the only part of New Orleans I found that was not crawling with people, and wait outside a building. And then this dude just walks up and he's like, well, I guess y'all the only ones who showed up, so the ghosts all get you.
What the fuck?
Wait, is it just
God.
you? Just
Yeah,
you
it
and
was
Sarah?
literally
Wow.
just me and Sarah.
Okay,
and
this
this
is
guy,
great.
Michael Bill.
His name is Michael Bill.
He
Fantastic.
said his name was Michael Bill.
Amazing.
And he didn't say, I'm Michael or Mr. Bill. He said, I'm Michael Bill.
All right.
And I was like, okay, cool. He was also obviously fucked up. I wasn't that mad about it. I was like, I'm going to go on a ghost tour with this guy who's
Same page. You know what I mean? At that point,
Right,
It's like,
exactly.
yeah,
We're just vibing.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we go in there and he starts showing us around. It's a little museum. It's cute. It's old. It's kind of shitty. There's like all this stuff up on the walls, all this stuff, right? And he starts pointing things out around the museum and like kind of just giving little descriptors. He's like, that chair, that was in an insane asylum that a man spent his last days in. And sometimes it creaks on its own. I was like, ooh, cool. little spooky foreplay. Okay.
Okay.
And then he's like, and that painting was painted by a woman who murdered both of her children.
Yeesh.
And supposedly legends say that some of their blood is in that red.
Oh, God.
And I'm
All
like,
right.
okay, all right,
All right.
getting spooky. Okay.
Getting better. Getting
And
better.
Yeah.
He points to a display and says, and that's a knife. Like a knife that killed somebody, or like a knife that was in a drunk driving accident. Like
Nah, I
that,
just like it.
Like just a knife. It's just
I mean, it's a case knife, though. Do you not see the brand? I mean, come on, guy.
Hang on. Is it?
It's
I'm
a good
hoping it's a
knife.
kitchen knife.
it was just like a knife.
It was a knife.
Like it wasn't a special kind of knife.
And that's a knife and knife.
That's
Yeah.
For
this is
knifing.
this is a
knife.
stabbing knife. This is a knifing knife. You guys not see the difference? Stabbing knife, knifing knife.
So he takes us upstairs. Now, I don't know if you guys heard this story. This actually happened, right? I'm not shitting you at all. After Hurricane Katrina, where everything got all fucked up, there was a guy who had either disassociated with reality, was on a lot of drugs, maybe a little bit of both. We've all been there. It happens. Who killed his girlfriend, cooked her, and ate her.
Oh.
And ate like part of her. And he like cooked her in his apartment while people are looting and like trying to survive and being abandoned by George W. Bush and the American government. It's a bad time. And this guy's cooking and eating his girlfriend. And we were in the apartment where it happened, and he's just pointing out the stove to us, just like, yeah, I knew both of them. We never thought he would do that. They really loved each other. And I'm
Oh my God,
like, Michael Bill,
Michael Bill.
I don't think he loved her as much as you think he did, or as much as you're saying he did, because he cooked and ate this bitch like it was a Sunday supper.
I sent him some braised pork recipes, and I didn't think anything of it.
And you know what? I didn't think he was going to go for the other white meat. I mean,
And it smelled pretty good.
I was going to say, that's the other white meat.
yeah. So that all happens, and I'm like, okay, I'm pretty keyed up right now. I'm ready for the spooky stuff. So he draws a circle on the floor and says, I'm opening the passageway to the spirit realm. And I'm like, okay, cool. All right, that's cool. Because I don't know about you guys. I'm like, there are weird things I'm a skeptic for. Like ghosts, I'm like, probably not. Werewolves, definitely. Like,
No, I'm kind of the same way. Actually.
yeah, like there's some stuff that I'm just like, there's no Antarctic, like Nazi moon base, but they are putting stuff in our food to make us dumber and used to like bad nutrition. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
there's definitely not a Loch Ness monster, but you fucking tell me right here, give me some good proof that there aren't mermaids. I'm positive.
But you can't. Everyone's looking to the sky for aliens. Ought to look down, brother.
Look down. Look down. Cave paintings. Boom.
All this to say, so he's opening the portal to the spirit realm, and I'm like, yeah, get down with your bad self, do your crystals and shit. That's fine, whatever. But he starts getting into the ritual a little bit, you know, and he's like drinking his drink because he's also got to drink this whole time. He's like the dude from Trailer Park Boys, just holding like a cocktail.
I am the liquor.
Oh, Julian.
Yeah, exactly.
Julian. Yeah.
And so he's holding the cocktail, he's drinking it and everything, and I'm just like, okay, cool, you know, whatever. And then he's like, all right, now y'all get to go to the doll room. And I'm like, the what now? Because Sarah's terrified of ghosts and exorcisms and possessions and shit because she was raised Catholic. And I was raised Pentecostal, so I'm afraid of the devil. But he's like a cartoon devil with like a pitchfork. I gotcha. You know, shit like that. But so we go into this room and it's just filled with dolls. And I mean, Grant, it's probably the size of the room we're in right now. And I'm not kidding when I say from the top of the ceiling to the bottom of the floor, stacks on stacks on stacks of dolls.
Hard pass.
They're all facing the same direction, the inner direction, towards the center of the room, which me, Sarah, and Michael Bill are now standing in.
Michael Bill, hell yeah.
And Michael Bill's like, yeah, so some of these dolls are haunted and some of them aren't. I think the spirits transfer from doll to doll. Honestly, we can't even keep up. Anyway, I'm going to let y'all commune with them. I'm going to be right outside if you need me. Okay? All right, great. And then he just backed out of the room, closed the door, and then turned the lights off with a switch that wasn't inside the room. Which means it was wired to the outside. And then, I'm standing there in pitch black, suddenly feeling the weight of hundreds of beady eyes. And I hear this motherfucker walk down the steps to go smoke a cigarette.
Fuck this guy. Oh.
So we're sitting there, and like Sarah and I had traded emotional ranges during this trip. Because I started out, this is awesome. This is so funny. Like, this is great. And she was kind of freaked out. Mm-hmm. And then it immediately pivoted where she was like standing in the black room like, this is stupid. And I'm like, no, I can feel them. They're with us. And she's like, shut up. And I was like, I'm going to get down on their level and see if I can communicate with them. And I like crossed my legs like crisscross applesauce and sat there and I was like, all right, spirits, I'm here. And nothing really happened besides the fact that I kind of freaked myself out a little bit. But, you know, we were like, that was pretty much it. You know, you see the murder kitchen, you see the like, you know, all the knife and
the knife and knife. Yeah.
The knife. Yeah. And you see the, you know, the doll room, you're good to go. You know, there's really nothing else. But he did not close the portal to the spiritual realm like he said he would. He even made a thing out of it. He was like, oh yeah, you don't want to leave this thing open. I'm going to go ahead and close it. And then he got distracted and started talking about like New Orleans real estate or whatever. And then we left and I didn't realize until we were like in the lift and I was like, he didn't close the portal. Which almost made my Lyft driver swerve off the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my doll story.
I sympathize with Sarah. I was also raised Catholic, and I do not fuck with anything regarding the other fucking world, man. Nope. Ouija boards, go fuck yourself. You want me to go into some sort of like, I don't know, some ritual? No, thanks. I'll be outside. You know, I would put myself in those rooms. I think I would go visit a haunted house, you know, just to see. And I watch ghost videos all the time. Yeah. Because they're very fascinating. Some of them I'm like, no way. Others I'm like, that's kind of creepy and fascinating. But yeah, I stay away. I stay away when I can.
It was fun. And I look back on that memory fondly. And I just hope like part of me wants to like bring that up one day with someone who's from New Orleans or who has been there. It's like, yeah, we were on this like ghost tour, you know, it was this awesome guy, Michael Bill. And she's like, did you say Michael Bill? Yeah? Michael Bill died 15 years ago.
No, but I will say if Michael Bill slammed a door behind me and then turned the lights off, I would have came after him and I probably would have
He would have died, yeah, right?
I would have kicked his ass. I would have kicked his ass and then I would have kicked it again.
In the spirit of that, I'm going to tell you all the story of Robert the doll. because I could rehash Annabelle. You know, I could talk about that. I could talk about the infamous frauds, Ed and Lorraine Warren. You know, the people that all that Conjuring cinematic universe BS is based off of. But now I want to tell you guys about Robert. And before I do, I want to give you guys a little fun fact about dolls. Is eventually every doll will end up as a piece of crime scene evidence.
Okay.
That's a Snapple fact.
Elaborate.
Eventually, in the life cycle of a doll, at some point it will be involved in something heinous, and someone will put a tag on it, catalog it, and put it away.
Huh.
That's not strictly true, but it feels like it's right.
No.
I mean, if Snapple
I'm with
told you.
And that's another patented Joseph Almost truth.
Okay.
All right, so let's talk about Robert, the most haunted doll in fabulously gay Key West. And I love Key West.
Who don't?
I don't know if you guys have been. It is awesome. It is beautiful. People there are really nice. Okay, so Robert is over 100 years old, and before he was housed in the Fort East Martello Museum, he belonged to a little boy, also named Robert. Robert Eugene Otto took this doll everywhere, as kids do, and talked about it as if it was a real person, as kids do, right? Nothing.
Hold on, real fast.
Mhm.
So the little boy is named Robert.
Yes.
He named his doll Robert.
Yes. This is not a creative child.
Or a narcissist. We'll see how this pans
could be
out.
both. Could be neither.
Creative narcissist.
Yeah.
Good
Oh,
one.
yeah. So that's not that crazy, right? Kids do that. They talk about their toys as if they're real.
Sure.
The thing is, this continued well into his adulthood. And I mean, like, when he was, like, in his 20s. He would carry this doll around with him. He brought it everywhere. He would talk about it with people. He would talk to people as if, like, it would be like, hey, Drew, like, you know, this is my friend Robert. And it's just a doll staring at you.
Yeah, no.
And also, this doll is dressed in a sailor suit, which
Oh, nice.
makes it
So much
like
better.
about 100 times creepier to me.
I swear, this would, knowing my luck, this would be my dorm mate. You know what I mean? Yeah, college. Oh, no.
Shows up with an Olin Mills picture of him and the doll when they were kids, and you're like,
Hi, I'm
"Fuck is
Robert.
this shit?"
This is my friend Robert. Yeah. We have a curtain. Or something?
Now, this is just a side note on Robert, but this really freaked me out when I read about it. I don't know exactly why, but after some digging, the museum traced Robert's origin to the Steiff Company, which is the same toy maker that first manufactured a teddy bear in honor of Theodore Roosevelt, if that matters. Robert was most likely never intended to be sold as a toy. Like, a Steiff historian told the museum that Robert was probably part of a set that was fabricated for a window display of clowns or jesters.
Burn it.
Great.
Okay.
Just burn
No,
it.
no,
Like,
no, no.
Were they talking about Teddy Rugsby?
Like, this thing isn't even a toy. Like, it's like if a kid was walking around with like one of those CPR torsos. Like, how fucking weird is that?
Oh, yeah, it's great.
So, according to legend, young Otto would blame mishaps on this doll. You know, Robert ate those cookies, or Robert was the one who tore up the garden, or Robert's the one who keeps pinching the maid's ass. Yeah, I know he doesn't have fingers. That's crazy. But now, while this could have been laughed off as childish storytelling, adults also started noticing odd occurrences, especially as Otto and Robert grew older. As an adult, Otto lived in a stately home that he called the Artist House, where Robert could be seen positioned at the upstairs window. And school children swore up and down that he would appear and reappear, and they avoided the house. Now, that also could just be someone moving a doll, which apparently he carried with him all the time. So, but it also might have been moving. Now,
actually, hang on. That sounds like a great security system.
oh, to just like
Seriously, though.
Yeah, like
Just put a clown mannequin in your front window. People are going to leave you the fuck
Yeah.
alone.
Nope, not here.
no one is going to be soliciting anything at your door.
It's just imagine like Robert's like going down the neighborhood. All right, maybe that one. Nope.
So Myrtle Reuter purchased the Artist House after Otto's death in 1974, Robert Otto, and also became Robert's new caretaker because the doll was left in the house. You know,
Classic. This is a classic doll story.
and visitors to her house swore that they heard footsteps in the attic and giggling.
Great.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
I am-
You would never like it. Grant, if your house had that, you wouldn't catch me at your house anytime,
Right.
any day.
I would be sleeping on your couch.
Now, some claim Robert's expression changed when anyone badmouthed Otto in his presence.
Dude, no. Dude, no.
The woman who bought the house, Miss Reuter, said that Robert would move around the house on his own. And after 20 years of annex, she donated him to the local museum.
Burn it. What?
Right. That's kind of fucked
Right.
up. Like, that's like donating like a blood-splattered Ouija board to Goodwill.
Yeah.
You guys deal with it.
Hey, this man's spirit likely is like inside of this doll. Let's put it somewhere where it can fucking inhabit other things.
There's
you know?
less fortunate people that need their lives fucked up. Please take this. You know?
Here's something obviously haunted. You're welcome, poor people. So, is Robert haunted? Is the doll haunted? Is it a paranormal entity? No? Something inhabiting the doll? Maybe the soul of a long-lost child? Or is it just haunted by the amount of cum that Robert Otto no doubt stuffed him full of?
Oh, Jesus.
That's how you're gonna end this? Is that?
I'm sorry, man.
Oh, no.
Oh, there's more.
Oh, no,
Good.
there's more.
Good.
Oh,
okay.
thank God that wasn't the
I'm
end.
kind of with
Because
Joseph
that's
on
not
this,
cum. That's
honestly, though.
ectoplasm.
You know what I'm talking about, though,
He
right?
carried a doll around with him into his 20s. He for sure fucked that thing.
That he named after
Yeah,
himself, and we already established he was narcissistically creative.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You don't think
You
he's
know?
fucking that doll?
Oh, yeah.
Every which way till Sunday?
He's fucking that doll.
Yeah.
Okay. So if this thing is haunted, and
Yeah.
it's not just animated cum,
Sure, it's haunted.
let me tell you something. This thing has only gotten stronger.
Yeah. Of course it has.
I'm strong with cum.
Pumped with that much protein. Fuck a shake.
Listen, since this doll has been donated, people have flocked to the museum to see it. Now, granted, flocked is the verb that the article I read used, but it's also a museum. So for them, flocked probably means like 15 people. Mm-hmm. But still.
Who knows?
He's appeared on TV shows. He's had his aura photographed. He's a stop on a ghost tour, and he's inspired a horror movie. He has his own Wikipedia entry, social media accounts. You can buy replicas, books, coasters, TV shirts. This little motherfucker's got a whole business behind him.
He's also got a TikTok. He's real big on it.
You know what's the worst part? People write him letters. A lot.
Stop. Don't do that. That's a bad idea.
Robert's caretakers say that he probably gets 1 to 3 letters every day.
Okay, at this point, I'm more so angry that he's more successful than me as opposed to creeped out by this thing.
This man's got a grassroots following. But most of the time, these aren't even fan letters, but they're apologies. Because many visitors attribute post-visit misfortunes to failing to respect Robert or even openly disrespecting him, and they write to him for forgiveness.
I've heard of this asshole. You said the letters, and I remember I watched this video a long time ago about this motherfucking doll. And yeah, like people go up there and are like, "Yeah, fuck you, Robert," and then like
And then shit happens to him.
then shit.
Hang
I
on.
was like, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Hang on. That doesn't sound like an asshole. That sounds like the person doing it is the asshole.
I mean,
Like you go in there mocking the doll.
no, the asshole is
Sorry, I'm supposed to be polite to the doll.
Well, look what happens if you're not.
no, the asshole is Robert for dying and staying. You know what I mean?
No, he just wants. If you were just polite and be like, "Hey, man, I hope you're having a good day."
Hey, man, don't fuck with me.
Or, I mean, my approach would just not go to that museum.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Let's just stay off his radar.
Yeah.
Apparently, the letters that aren't apologies are requests for people to be hexed or cursed. And like, just for a moment with me, imagine the type of person who writes to a doll asking them to hex someone.
Yeah.
Just picture
I
it in your mind.
could think of
Yeah.
a few actually.
Yeah.
I could think of a few. Maybe the chick who would hiss at people in my high school.
Peopleofwalmart.com.
Hmm.
Those are good candidates.
Yeah. So
You know what I mean?
Robert receives emails, he gets homages, and at some point, apparently it became known that Robert has a sweet tooth. Don't know how they found that out, but people leave and send
It was
him
the
candy.
cum.
It was the cum.
That's
It was
how they
always-
found
It
out.
was always the
It was
cum.
always the cum.
Got a salty tooth.
Personally, I feel like if I wanted to take a haunted doll and supercharge it to an evil beyond imagining, this is exactly how I would do it. I would fill it full of the soul and possibly the cum, 20 years worth of cum, and then just put it somewhere on a dais where it can be worshipped and prayed to. Now, the caretaker in the museum has said that she's never had any bad experiences with Robert. Nothing creepy, nothing moving in the night, no giggles. So maybe, Robert's not really haunted. Maybe he's just the cum-soaked remnants of Robert Otto's no doubt demented childhood in the first terrible, terrible 20 years of his life. Or maybe, just maybe, Robert's content to live his life behind glass, adored by and prayed to by total fucking weirdos, while his nubile young caretaker dusts him and cares for him. Bit of an editor's note. The caretaker was not described as nubile. I took that artistic liberty. Sue me.
What does nubile mean?
Like stretchy and virile and young.
Fresh.
Yeah. Like if you could fuck veal.
I'm sure you could.
It's frowned upon in most societies, but
But it's not illegal.
Sir, could you stop fucking your steak?
hey,
Listen, I don't go back there and tell you how to cook it. Don't tell me how to fuck it.
table 5's gonna need some extra cleanup over here.
All right.
I wanted gravy.
You're fired. Don't talk anymore.
All right. Now we're going to leave dolls behind in the past a little bit. And I'm going to run you guys through something called the conjure chest. So dolls are creepy, right? Obviously, they're creepy on their own without being haunted.
Mm-hmm.
But the conjure chest is a haunted chest. And if that doesn't excite you,
What's in it?
check your pulse. I'm about to tell you what's in it is ghosts.
Like B cup, C
Ooh.
cup.
B cup.
What are we talking about here?
Double D's.
Double D's, maybe?
Yeah,
Double
like
D's,
like
cool.
G's maybe.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
okay,
Jesus.
cool.
Gagungas.
These are.
Betty
Don't want
Nugs.
hot gross.
Yeah. Betty Nugs.
I feel like, Gagangas is larger than Bazongas, right? Because Bazongas, Gagangas.
There are levels to this.
So the scene is Kentucky, circa 1830. Obviously, awesome place to be.
Yeah.
I have one more. It was
Please.
Bazonkas,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Gagonkas, and then Zooey Mamas.
And you can curl the nipples, right?
Very good.
Can we come up with a list from A to Z?
That's a new drinking game right there.
Bro, sizes A to Z. A is just areolas.
Austin, all I want you to do is next time you're like texting a girl, be like, "Ooh, I can't wait to touch your zooey mama."
I don't know. To me, there's too big. Right? I feel like Zooey Mama would be too big
That's
for me.
too big, yeah.
Yeah, Zooey Mama's like back problems.
Right. Not
Let me
even,
curl
right?
them nipples, baby.
Zooey Mamas are like you're dragging those things, man.
Yeah, I was thinking, my brain's going to them like, poking out behind, like underneath a shorter T-shirt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I thought with the hand gestures you were
they're
doing,
at the waistline.
you were going to talk about like knee slappers. Like,
Yeah, or knee slappers. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
so Jeremiah Graham was a slave owner in Kentucky circa 1830.
Great segue.
How am I supposed to go from Zooey Mamas to slave owner? Because I bet you some of the slaves on that farm had some Zooey Mamas.
Right. Cone shaped.
Oh my
So
God.
is he a nice slave owner? Is he?
No, he's the other kind.
I will likely get canceled for saying cone shaped right there.
Listen, I've got nothing against the Nat Geo nipples, man.
Nat Geo nipples, baby.
So Graham wanted a chest of drawers for his pantaloons, rivets, whatever the fuck people wore back then. So he asked one of his slaves. Well, he didn't ask. He told him probably.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let me catch myself right there.
Yeah.
He told his slave Remus to build him one, right? So Remus builds him one, and displeased with his work, Graham beats this motherfucker to death. Just like that, because, that's what they did. However, yeah, to death.
God.
But Remus would have the last laugh. Again, and again, and again, and again.
Hell yeah.
5 again.
5 again.
So Remus's friends scattered dried owl blood in the chest drawers. I don't know what that does, but I guess that's how you curse something. I don't really know the magical math on that one, but I'm gonna let it pass.
Sounds like voodoo to me.
So the Grams thinking
Hang on.
everything's
Real quick, that's got to be badass. Like owl blood, because think of how hard.
it is to catch an owl.
Yeah, because they're one nocturnal creatures.
They're
two,
huge predators.
Yeah, like
I don't know. I think if you catch a mouse, you can catch an owl.
I beg to differ.
dude, mice are stupid and easy to catch.
Well, duh.
That's a-
But then you use the mouse to bait the owl.
Exactly.
is
Just
what
tie
I'm
a
saying.
string around the
Oh, I
mouse.
see what you're saying. Not
Right.
that a mouse and an owl are equivalent.
Yeah, it's a step-by-step
Austin,
process.
look at you.
Owl fishing,
Okay.
basically.
Yes. Chumming with mice. You know?
Maybe I should have said that more like a monk of some sorts. First, you catch the mouse, and then you catch the owl.
I love it.
I'll work on it.
Came the-
T-shirt idea.
What came
Yeah.
first, the mouse or the owl?
Definitely the mouse.
Yeah.
Then the owl.
So the Grams, thinking everything's fine and apparently unbothered by beating a man to death while enslaving an entire group of people, put their newborn baby's clothes in the drawer. And within the week, boom, dead baby.
Ooh.
Unable to take a hint, the family continued to use and pass down the chest in their family for the next 140 years. And over those years, death followed this family like a hungry dog. Anyone who stored their clothes in the chest died. Children were stillborn, died of polio. One family's son was stabbed while he was at school, and the husband of one of the family's friends died of appendicitis because he didn't activate his appendix, Jamie. Sorry, that's
Just when I got into a weird argument.
we got into a conversation argument where it wasn't like, I'm not mad at you, but why are you saying what you're saying? Anyway, he died of appendicitis. They even had a neighbor who was shot accidentally. All of these people had used the chest. Now, before anyone wised up, this chest racked up a body count of 16. 16 people used this chest.
No
and
one
died.
pieced it together.
You know, I'm going to say this probably wasn't a real smart group of people. Like their family tree is probably more like a stump, you know?
Couple branches.
Yeah, maybe 2.
So finally, by the mid 20th century, Virginia Carey Hudson Cleveland, a descendant of old
Is that a
scumbag.
human being name?
Yeah, that was a
Okay.
lady. No,
All right,
she had like
great.
5 names.
Go again.
Virginia Carey Hudson Cleveland.
I feel like the more names you have, the less smart you are.
Yeah.
And in
Also,
like today's
3
society,
of those are geographical features. Like, what the hell?
And the more like first names
like,
you have?
right.
They're just all places that
Like-
her mom was at when she was pregnant. I visited
Yeah,
Virginia. I
specifically
visited
first names.
Cleveland.
You're not wrong about that. Right, like, and it's like you might be rich just because you're generationally rich, but you're dumb as rocks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, these are some inbred,
yeah.
you know, Dixie fucks.
My name's George Michael Cletus Anthony III.
And my dad might be from Detroit or Cleveland or all of my names.
So, in the mid 20th century, Virginia Carey Hudson Cleveland, descendant of the slave owner, finally wised up. I guess she was the one person in the family that actually was like, cause and effect. What?
Hey, wait a minute.
She had her maid Sally help her undo the curse, which, you guessed it, involved more owl blood.
Oh, nice.
Great.
Nice.
Was Sally like a
A black lady?
sharecropper? Oh,
I-
yeah, I'm glad you just.
Yeah. I assumed she was because Sally seemed to have some inside knowledge on how to undo it, which I would assume would be a cultural thing with whatever magic that the slaves had put onto it.
Yeah.
It didn't say specifically, which I thought was a real weakness in the article, to not mention everyone's race at all times.
Right?
It was just safely assumed.
So I'm just
Right.
going to say Sally was probably.
black.
So Sally tells Virginia that if she died, I don't understand this, but Sally told Virginia after they rubbed it with the dried owl's blood, she said, if I die, the curse is broken.
Oh,
So maybe Sally sacrificed herself or something. I don't really get the spiritual math on this one either, but it's not my strongest subject, so whatever. A few months later, Sally did die, and the curse was broken, I guess. Now, when Virginia's daughter inherited the chest, she apparently inherited her mother's brains also because she was like, fuck no, I'm not using this. And she donated it to the Kentucky Historical Society in 1976, where it lives until this very day, just for waiting for someone to slide their delicate, carefully folded laundry into it. And there's no word if this chest only kills white people, but I'm going to say probably yes.
I hope so.
Why did they keep the chest? That's the bigger question.
Like, at no point.
Again, burn it.
Like-
what is wrong with these people?
Like, did she turn to Sally and Sally's like, the only way to fix this is if I die or you give it away, whatever you prefer. Like, well, I don't really care if you die. So let's go with the first one. That sounds good.
Okay, so rule of threes. I got one last cursed object for you guys, and I gotta be honest, this one kind of bummed me out. This is King Tut's tomb / The Curse of the Mummy's Hand 2, The Awakening.
Brendan Fraser involved at all?
God,
Yes.
I wish he was.
I just needed to make that.
So I was super excited to research this and talk about it and everything because, like, you guys have grown up with, like, Scooby-Doo and, old mummy movies with Boris Karloff and all that
And
stuff.
Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, and Brendan Fraser. It's like, yeah.
I watched all 3 of the Mummy movies not that long ago.
Yeah, and the third one is a big pile of shit.
It's horrible.
But we
I
watched
loved
it.
But the first two, fantastic.
Hey, what's the third one?
Like the Curse of the Chinese Dragon. or
Yeah,
something.
something like
it's
that.
really
Tomb of
bad.
the.
I haven't
yeah.
seen it.
It's
You
really
don't need
bad.
It's like Tomb of the Dragon
Oh, no, you
Emperor or
definitely
something
need
like
to.
that. Yeah, I think it's
It's
Tomb of the
horrible.
Dragon Emperor.
It's a real bummer.
Yeah.
Because
highly
I
recommend.
love the first one, and the second one's not as good, but I still think it kicks ass.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the second one's great.
Huh?
It's a great movie.
The second one?
It's entertaining as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like, if,
The
if
CGI
you're going,
is so bad, though. and
It's
you get
so-
laughed
bad.
It's so bad
None
it's
of it
good.
holds up.
Yeah.
So bad
CGI
it's
wise,
good.
anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, but for the
It's like
time,
the pug.
it's
It's
fucking
just
awesome.
CGIs, you know.
The CGI?
I mean, it looks like a PlayStation 1 game. Like,
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
And we all
Terminator 2
enjoyed
came out in what,
PlayStation 1 at one point in
1991?
time, right?
And it's 10 times, like a million times better. It is not about the time. It was just that it was shoddy work.
Oh, you're talking about like the difference between the first and second?
No, like the CGI in the second one is horrifically bad. And to say that it was because of the time makes no sense because if you look at CGI in 1991 for Terminator 2, like
They did a
they
great
had
job
all
on
the
that film.
technology.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
In fact, most of the CGI technology that we had today was pioneered for the movie Terminator.
Yeah, well, fuck me, right?
Yeah. Why not? Also, Terminator 2 did win an Oscar. Best movie of all time.
see, you got him started on Terminator 2. It's like the rest of the podcast. It's just,
I'll just take these off. I'll get the fuck out of here.
well, your services are no longer needed.
Right. Right. One more dick joke, please.
So, we all love mummies.
My penis name is Brendan Fraser. Sorry.
So, but mummies don't kill people. It's
Allegedly.
allegedly.
Mummies don't kill people.
But even
Guns.
the deaths, but even the deaths that have been attributed to King Tut's curse, like from opening the tomb, are really fucking weak. I'm sorry, but like when Howard Carter opened King Tut's tomb, kind of opening the era or like starting the era of modern Egyptology, the first recorded death that people started freaking out about was his goddamn canary. His canary died, and people were like, "Oh, this shit's cursed, man."
Well,
I don't know if you've been around canaries,
Who would kill a bird?
but they die.
they do.
That's kind of their thing.
Yeah.
That's kind of their thing.
Canaries die.
Yeah.
The miners figured out. Yeah, absolutely.
Quit sending
Granted,
these fucking birds in this mine.
some stories say that the way the bird died was pretty cool. Was that apparently they had it in a cage, they put the cage down,
it
and they were
exploded.
what? Even cooler is that they had the bird in the cage.
Heads fell off.
I feel like you're not gonna like it when I reveal what it is now. They hang the bird cage up,
Someone fucked it to death.
they leave it alone, and then a cobra gets in there and eats the fucking bird in front of them and stares at them. Now, the reason that's crazy is because
That's kind of cool.
the cobra is like a symbol of like Egyptian gods and like Egyptian like, royalty, so it's like that's, cinematic. That's cool,
Also, pet snake. I mean, win-win.
Also, pet snake would be awesome. Now you had a canary.
And now it's in the cage.
If you can catch a canary, you can catch a cobra.
Hey,
Cobra fishing.
look,
Yeah.
here we are, full
Did you
circle.
know that this is actually a really fun fact. Speaking of canaries, did Did you know that canaries die after sex?
No,
I don't
really?
think that's true.
Well, the one that I fucked sure did.
Ah, there you go. Good job.
How did I do it?
Hey, Steve.
How does he keep getting out of
Steve
free
is our
speech
editor.
jail?
Steve, if you can do me the favor and just mute all the laughter from that joke, that'd be great. I just want.
Oh, fuck you. That was good. Dude, come on. The setup and the delivery was perfect.
I want it
Go
muted.
fuck yourself.
I want it muted.
That was better
So
than
I just-
Terminator 2, you son of a bitch.
So, of the 58 people present for the opening of King Tut's tomb, within a dozen years, 12 years, only 8 of them had died, which statistically speaking was going to happen, right? That's not a crazy amount of them to have died.
No.
And most of them died of like cancer, pneumonia, malaria, blood
Cobras?
infections.
Cobras?
I was
No
about to
cobras.
ask.
No cobras.
Yeah, no cobras at all.
But I can imagine these crackers in 1920s Egypt were probably not well equipped to deal with like a whole different like biome. You know what I mean? Probably just drinking. Well, they're probably not even drinking the water. They're probably just like drunk off their ass, like kicking in like sarcophagi.
Right?
This is awesome. I love being an explorer. Time to raid these tombs.
America.
Strip the indigenous people.
Fuck yeah. Coming again. I find a fucking, oh, that's an Egyptian. Shit.
I'm going to kick this ball down with my bare hands.
My foot's cursed now.
I mean, even Howard Carter, who was the head guy in charge, who was like, you know, the top motherfucker, was like, nah, curses are bullshit. I've done this my whole life. None of this is real.
Right.
And he did die, but like of lymphoma, like 16 years later.
Ooh.
So either mummies are really, really slow with their revenge, or
Play the long game. You know?
I'll get you.
The long
You won't know
curse,
when,
baby.
but I'll get you.
You're gonna die eventually.
and look, I hate to end on a wet fart, you know, saying that curses aren't real, but fair is fair. I'm not trying to make up the facts. I'm trying to present to you guys the information that I got high and Googled.
Can we land on
/
a
research.
Can we land on a cake fart, not a wet fart? That'd be nicer.
Would be better.
It would be. It'd smell better, at least, I think.
Now, a lot of these curses, from Egyptian tombs to the conjured chest to the cursed amethyst and the hope diamond, long story short, both looted from India during particularly cruel and bloody times of English rule, which sounds awesome, but boring stories, represent, a lot of the times, I think, native people's vengeance against colonizers and oppressors, if you want to look at it thematically.
Sure.
I'm probably not the first person to make this like connection, let's be honest, but if you boil these stories down, they tell mostly of people being exploited, maimed, murdered, and getting the smallest measure of revenge, which makes many of these curses, if not overly believable, at least somewhat satisfying. Sure, we may never bring our oppressors to true justice. The have-nots, the indigenous, the downtrodden may be hollowed out and used by those in power, but these stories, these curses, while frightening to some, give others hope that their spirits will live on and will be able to strike back in at least some small way. So remember, people, if you can't get reparations, you can at least get revenge.
Nice.
That's heartwarming.
There you go.
Thank you.
That's hard.
So keep that owl blood handy, y'all.
Jesus.
Daddy, you got that vial of owl blood ready?
And that has been that's been a presentation on a few cursed objects that I thought were fun.
That was nice.
Well, that was nice. I will say one of like, I don't know if it's rational or irrational. One of my fears is like I'm gonna like cut someone off in traffic, and it's gonna be like some witch, and then she's gonna be like, "Cursed! You're cursed for 1,000,000 years." So I'm like, it's one reason why I don't like cutting people off in traffic.
It's probably better to be.
You
safe
wake
than
up and
sorry.
your back hurts, and you're like, God, what's going on with my back? And there's some bitch in her car.
I mean, it's like I always keep garlic at the house, you know, because I like cooking with garlic, but also like, you know,
Vampires away.
it keeps the vampires away, and it's considered a holy, you know, vegetable
I would say it's a
root.
I mean, it comes down from a vine, doesn't it?
We
It's
have a chef sitting at the table, so maybe.
It would be vegetable.
Vegetable?
It's a vegetable.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's been considered a holy vegetable to a lot of different cultures, you know.
Mhm.
and you should just have it.
I wonder if that's a cook thing because my wife was a chef and she like she keeps like shitloads of stuff in the freezer and of course it's all labeled and stuff. So it's like, you know what I mean? So I'm like, I was just like ice goes in the freezer and she's like, I've got beef in case we ever need it. I'm like, okay, cool. No.
All right, cool.
Is this where an outro goes? I'm really good at this. Anyway, this has been a presentation on cursed objects. I hope you guys had fun. This is a shout out World Peace, Free Palestine, Free TK from Joseph.
Goodbye. I'm Grant.
Adios, Jamie.
Don't come in creepy dolls. I'm Austin.
Yeah, that's a good call. Good call.
Someone
If you can
feisty.
help it.
And guest guy. Yeah, true. Saying, bye.
Wait, hang on.
Huh?
Real quick. Robert came on the doll, or whatever you want to, however you want to slice
In
it
the
up.
doll.
So specifically
In the
not
doll,
in
but
I'm glad we didn't end the
Oh.
episode so we could talk more about this.
the doll wasn't creepy until he did that. So he himself made it
So you
creepy.
think he had haunted cum?
So remember when
He
we were
put his life energy. He stored
That's a
his
better way to
soul
say it.
and
Right,
life
right,
energy
right,
into
right.
it. What I'm saying is, I don't think anyone else did that to the doll, and maybe that could have worked out well for them.
right. So back to the whole "who's the asshole" conversation.
Yeah.
Is it human Robert? Because I think it's human Robert.
Yes, it definitely is.
Because he started the whole thing.
Because he started
carried
it.
a doll
He's
around
the
with
one
him
that
until
came
his
in the
Made this
doll.
thing haunted.
Yeah, but I don't.
Listen,
I don't
Jamie,
think that makes
if
him an
you
asshole.
fucking ejaculate in a doll, you're an asshole.
I don't think
Hold on, that's not what I'm intending to have happen. Like, let's not make that a blanket rule.
I don't think he's the asshole.
Let's not make that a blanket rule. Come
Yeah,
on.
I mean, there's like
Come on.
special circumstances.
You know, like some dolls. It's okay.
Circumstances.
Ayo.
Like, it's like the weird kid in class. He might not be the nicest kid, but he's not the asshole. It's the kid that bullies him. That's the
That's
asshole.
the asshole.
So Robert was never the asshole.
You're right.
He's just a fucking weird haunted thing that made another weird haunted thing.
A cum baby.
If anything, Robert's kind of a victim in this.
The doll?
Yeah.
The doll is.
Yeah, the doll probably never wanted the situation.
I'm going to guess the doll wasn't giving, like, come get me eyes at the little boy, but that's what happened.
I mean, you know, and
I mean,
in
we
today's
don't know
day
that
and-
for
Right.
sure.
In
Maybe
today's
maybe
day and
the boy
age,
was like,
the
"I'm
doll
gonna
would have
get
had
you."
a lot bigger voice. So, me too.
It's true.
And on that note, I think that's the end of the episode.
Anyway, thanks for sitting through this one.
And the Book of Mysteries closes on our heroes. Until next time, my fellow wanderer, my kindred spirit in the graveyard, we had some laughs, some scares, and maybe even learned along the way. Think of us for your next podcast listening pleasure. Think of us when you go to sleep at night and the house settles and you close your eyes and feel something there.
If you like what you hear, please subscribe and follow us on Instagram at Trashville_USA. And if there's a true crime story you want us to cover, email us at don'temailtrashville@gmail.com.
What are you talking about? It's a great email.